Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me for another episode of the Guess the WN8 series, where my viewers submit replays and I have to guess their WN8 and their win rate. If I get within 250 of their WN8 or 2% of their win rate, then I win. If I don't, then I give them gold on account of me being bad. There's another paid replay submission. You can guarantee your replay is used by using a paid submission link in the description, or you can submit for free if it takes your fancy. Read the rules about how to do that. In any case, Tier 92. This is a Tier 8 premium light tank. We're working with a case of cola here, premium consumable, 3 HE shells, 4 cap resets, and 57 premium shells. The premium being APCR. We have 0 heat shells. Why do we have 0 heat shells? Well, because they are one of the most expensive shells in the entire game for the amount of pen and damage that they do. Literally, this thing will eat your profit if you fire any manner of premium. I believe they cost 5,400 credits, whereas the premium on the Scorpion costs 4,800. So they do half the damage with like 81 less pen for no reason. So, yeah, there we go. APCR as standard. Did I say it was premium? I do apologize. Okay. And now that was an odd... Okay, looks like someone is not entirely sure of where we're going. So, the purpose of this position is to prevent egress in the middle, primarily from something like the even 90. Now, the T92 does have decent camera rating, it's fairly low profile, has 400 meters of base view range, which, when we are comparing to the ELC Even 90, obviously, Even 90's main attribute is on the move camera rating, has the highest in the game, can get up to over 60 nowadays, but it's worth noting that the T92 has 20 meters more base view range. You will see Even 90 only at 380, so might come into play later, we shall see. But being top tier in this tank does allow you to have a certain element of freedom that is seldom appreciated in tier 8 light tanks, because you can outspot a lot in this little thing. And boy, what I wouldn't give to be that Even 90. I certainly wouldn't be playing up there at this stage, I don't think. Now, what's interesting as we're punching the hills here on Redshire is that we got 10 degrees of gun depression, but we kind of don't, though, because while this 10 degrees of gun depression is present all the way around the tank, something I just found out, and a lot of people in chat just found out with me, this little titty, this little nipple here, right, actually impacts the gun depression of this tank. So if you are aiming over this area, you actually only have about 6 degrees of gun depression. So yeah, if that comes into play in this game, I will laugh, and it will be very funny. So, side shot, 150 alpha damage on this tank. Doesn't get spotted by this BZ. I mean, that tells us immediately that BZ's view range is pretty damn poor. So that is worth noting. What's interesting to me at this point is the damage output into these tanks, right? Because it implies to me that the Even 90 is lighting them up, so it says that the Even 90 is still present there. Relevant information. But is the Even 90 going to spot those vehicles from the cap? No. Right? I don't think he will. I don't think he has an angle there. So it means that there's something else in the cap. What could that be at this point? It could be an M6, could be a VK, could be a Churchill, could be a Heavy Tank number 6, could be a Charioteer, could be a Lorraine. Right? Doesn't narrow it down a lot, but it's the kind of thing you want to have in your head, particularly when you're in your light tanks. Because light tank gameplay is not only about providing information to the team, but it's also predicated on you yourself having and appreciating that information to be able to make the maneuvers that will eventually win the game or open up opportunities for your team to do so. Oh, unfortunate miss there. 0.38 accuracy on this tank, and yeah, don't want to be taking those kind of shots. 1.8 second aiming time though, which could feel moderately pleasant. And where's that even 90? Oh, wow. Look at that. I was wrong. Even 90 was in the cap. That's interesting. Was it something else spotting these guys? Or does he just have that angle from there? Wild. Okay. Hey, you and me both learning, chat. Oh. And now the 40T out of nowhere. Okay. And we are getting some spotting damage on the VK. Very nice. BZ's a little danger. I don't know if this guy has binos or optics. I couldn't see the equipment. 40T has just killed the crocodile, and the 40T has 4 shells, 300 damage per shell. But generally speaking, after a Lorraine or an autoloader gets a kill like that, it's more than likely they're going to be reloading. Now, this Lorraine is very isolated, which is very poor autoloader gameplay. Unless you have an adequate resource, such as the Even 90 with its speed and low profile. The 4090 does not really have either of those things. I mean, it has more speed than low profile. But the point being, the 40T being so close to counterplay when unloading is really poor autoloader etiquette. Like, he should not be this close and this isolated from his team because it allows counterplay when the enemy team knows he's reloading, which is what we might see right now. And the T92, oddly enough, being so low profile, you could do a side hug on that 40T right now and he'd be missing half his shots, if not all of them. So we know the 40T is unloading, or has unloaded. Okay, and here we go. Have we caught him reloading? Stick very close. There we go. Lovely. Yeah, looks like he's reloading to me. Wonderful. Unload that damage. And we want to be engine targeting here. We know this guy's going to reload at some point. You got freedom. Right, let's target that engine. Let's target those fuel tanks. Every shot right into the back here, because it could save you a bit of health in the long run. If he reloads at the wrong moment, gets one shot into you before he goes down, it's 300 health that you didn't need to take if you just go off the auto aim and now put every shot into the rear, directly into that engine, directly into that fuel tank. It won't save you all of the time, but if it's something you make consistent in your gameplay, the notion that, okay, I'm going to target this module while I can, I'm going to target this engine while I can, alright? Then over the spectrum of all of the games that you play, some of us play 30,000, 40,000 games, alright? Over that amount of games, that slight shift in your attitude, in your aim, over that expanse of games will result in your stats being better, just by merit of your consistent effort to provoke fires and get that extra damage. Very good awareness of foliage cover there, pulling in front, getting these trees between himself and the charioteer before firing, ensuring that he doesn't get spotted. Lovely stuff. Okay, and now we are one shot. There's no water in here. Oh, and gee, they be a panther right out in the middle of the open. Why ever not? Okay, now we want to go for isolation. One of the most valuable tanks on the enemy team right now is almost completely isolated from his network of support. Like, actually, we're missing an M6. I mean, you can theorize about that guy being AFK at this point. But this is looking awfully appetizing to me as a light tank player right now. Do I want to go anywhere near this? Not particularly. Do I want to go over here? Oh, yes. So let's see if that is what's done. Or are we going on an arty hunt? And there's the M6. Okay, so that now means that the Pajero is completely undefended. Tier 8 heavy tank. Completely isolated. Can we set a light tank on him? Can we do that? Why would we not do that right now? I understand we're feasting on the M6, but we gotta prioritize. It's not every day of the week you're gonna get an isolated tier 8 heavy who still has a load of health left. We're delaying to the point that it's gonna become really difficult to justify going over there now. Because we've allowed the enemy to sort of expand and break out of this box. Could have got over there. That Pajero could have been dead by now. Okay. Dies anyway. That's very nice. But that should have been our responsibility, in my mind. And through the bushes here, this is wonderful. Oddly enough, feeling a bit about 6 degrees of gun depression at one point there, I think. Okay, M6 in cover, we're relaxing. Beautiful, shooting from the foliage again. You didn't need to fall back there, in my opinion. It might cost you. Oh, and I think it did. The instinctive fallback just after we fired. Like, I would not have fallen back in that situation because we had the foliage between us and the enemy. But here's a one-shot. Gotta be a little cautious, so... It's not the worst misplay in the world, but I think that gameplay could have been optimized a little bit more. Okay, now we're feeling a little relaxed. Waiting for the clean side shot on the M6, and is it worth it? This is... Look, I understand he's stunned, but RNG is still gonna bite you in the ass if you're not careful. Woo, okay. Cool. Really not necessarily risk, though. If you die at this point, I reckon your team loses this game. It's entirely possible that your team loses this. So, recognizing your value and conflating it with your need to stay alive and your need to conserve hit points is a viable, and to be honest, very highly recommended strategy. Will be spotted now. Really? At 220 in the open by a VK. God damn. Okay, now we're utilizing a bit of mobility. Right? 60 top speed on this T92. Let me be clear, that is not particularly remarkable for a tier 8 light tank, having a top speed of only 60, but it's adequate. The thing about this tank is it goes 60. It's not like an AMX 40, which tells you it has a top speed of 50 and then just doesn't. Right? This thing will get up to 60 on most types of terrain. And this is exactly what you're wanting to do in light tanks. Open up angles, be difficult. Picks up the Nashorn, wonderful stuff. And winding our way around the back. And can you see how this ties into my notion of keeping health, particularly in your light tanks? What was it? 2 minutes ago, there were like 6, 7 tanks right here. But as the game goes on, there's less and less tanks on the battlefield. And that makes light tanks and tanks that have the mobility to get around the map so much more powerful. Because now you can exploit the holes left by the numerical insignificance of the enemy team. And when doing stuff like this, the more health you have, the more real estate and more currency you have to trade for these valuable positions at the end of games. And this is just wonderful. Absolutely wonderful stuff. Should pick up the kill here very nicely. Gorgeous. It's really nice light tank gameplay. And a Charioteer volunteers. My man, watch the kill feed. A Charioteer 70 meters in front of you just got torn asunder by a T92 and you just waltz up to his corpse and say, hey, what happened? I just... That guy's not very good. Okay, again, isolation. Heavy tank YOLO'd off after the arty. He had a great time, but he's left his friendly BZ very isolating right now. And we're all confused about where that tank is right now. Okay, and BZ is hungry, and we've got another pay replay submission. Holy heck. Very nice. Very nice indeed. I wanted to... If he killed himself going off there, I would have laughed. Just to be clear. Alright, and this should not be a problem. Oh, asking for the last kill. Did not realize he's actually on the verge of a... Ladley Walters medal here, which would certainly be interesting if he can avoid dying to the 220 alpha damage on that Tiger 121. Ooh, very nice connection. 2 more hits should do it, but you don't want to squander. Your team is capping because that's what teams do. Oh, okay, someone interrupted the cap. Very nice. Capola shooting, should have the kill here, utilize a bit of R function. Well, you're going to go down at the end there. Wabbit Queen, hello! Welcome! So for this one, oh my. There was a lot of good light tank gameplay. The only misstep I think I can interpret was the decision to not go after the Pajero. Because not only are you thinking about isolated tanks and what you can easily kill as a light tank, you're thinking about what it clears up. You had one of your biggest assets, the guard, still alive at the end game, and in fact the Patriot over there, locked down, facing that Pajero, meaning that if you had gone and killed him earlier, they could have been in the fight more. Ironically, that means that you probably would have had a worse game. You wouldn't have got the Gladly Waters, right? And you would have got less damage. But it's exactly that kind of thinking that sort of illustrates, or I guess more defines, the win rate bracket that I think the player is in. It's the sort of respect for the overall outcome of the game, as opposed to, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that, I can get damage here, yada, yada, yada. It's that distinguishes the difference between WN8 and Win Rate, and the fact that they don't share a linear relationship. I think maybe 54, 55 is what I'm feeling from this. And then based on the aggression when it wasn't needed against the... another damn pheasant out there. Yeah, in case anyone missed it, Tilly killed a pheasant the other day. And we're now going to eat it because we don't like wasting food. Yeah, I think 54 and maybe like 2k WN8. 54% wins, 1.9k. Ooh, okay, a little better than I thought. WN8, 2.3. Okay, cool. I said 2k was too high. I was off the mark on that one. We did get within 2% of the win rate though. So we weren't too far off. He's doing considerably better recently in terms of WN8. Win rate still stays similar though. I've played 60,000 battles, so not entirely surprising. But maybe you work on more principled gameplay. Your damage is certainly up there, but in terms of winning, you might want to approach games more tactically. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the second replay of the day in a Bourrasque. Oh, people aren't gonna like this. 4 premium shells by the looks of it, 240 pen, 4 HE shells on deck. We do have a premium consumable. We have Bond vert stabs and a experimental aiming system, I believe. Viable on the Bourrasque, certainly, it's all about the gun, and regular vents. So we've got the city map set up, and let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 titties on this map. Interesting. Even 90 and a squall as well. This gentleman's name is Gun Profile, platooned with another Meal or Bourrasque. They are exactly the same tank. And we are headed early to the mid, seeing who we can catch out. Oh, and that is really poor. That is disgustingly poor play by his friendly Bourrasque there. Holy hell, if there was one thing on the entire map that you didn't want to crash into, and one moment that you didn't want to crash into it, that was probably it. He is almost dead well, now he is dead. As a result of that mistake, and to be honest, that's justice. You drive like that, you deserve it. And what is this bat chat doing? Gonna go down 2-second intro clip on the Bourrasque. One of the reasons that it is a busted vehicle. About 22-second clip when you load 360 alpha damage with these 2 shells, 720 in a clip, of course. 62 top speed that you saw as we got into position there. And I believe the view range is only 370, isn't it? Is it 370 or 380? Somewhere around there. But combined with a camera rating that is as good, if not better, than some light tanks it's going to be facing. Oh, the Bourrasque has a lot going for it. 2 shots into the squall here, potentially. Nope, just the one. Gotta remember. Oh, and that is a surprising shot to connect. What's the accuracy of the Bourrasque again? I don't want to fill your heads with... incorrect information. Now, It's 0.42, 3.5 second aiming time. Bourrasque can do many things. Sniper distance is not generally one of them. Gotta remember a fairly unique attribute of autoloaders is that when you get stunned, the time between shells doesn't change. Right? Unlike the reload of any other tank, that intra-clip is still going to stay at 2 seconds, stunned or not. Oh, and we are getting coming fire here. Luckily, the squall goes down, taking a bit of damage. Luckily, didn't decide to load HE at the ass of the Bourrasque. Has many things, does not have armor. Now, the thing is about poking on this corner, T-34 420mm gun takes 400 alpha damage. Yes, you would be able to trade back 720, but in this situation, you're winning. Right? 890 line pressure is coming up. So if you are winning it in World of Tanks, just like when you are winning it in chess, right? When you win in chess, you want to hold that advantage, right? In the same way, in World of Tanks, when you are up, when you have advantage, holding on to that advantage and pressing on it is the best way to go forward. And in this case, holding your health. It's like, okay, come at us, enemy team. What do you want to achieve? And taking the damage when you can, but not giving them opportunities to chunk into that health advantage that you have. But T-34, some of the lowest DPM on any Tier 8 non-autoloading heavy tank in the game, up there with things like the Charlemagne and stuff like that. So if our beautiful Neil gun profile does catch that T-34 after he's fired, it's going to be a clean unload. And even before he's fired, that's 1, that's 2 second intra-clip for 1.5 seconds of exposure. Even WoT still running about on the top there, and heard that T-34 fire, I think, so goes out, tries to put another clip out, and he's done the health of a Tier 8 heavy tank in those 2 clips. And can we take out this even 90? He is stunting the aggression present on this flank. So this is really important target prioritization here, because the even 90 is enabling what the... Okay, enemy RT just killed himself. Cool. Luckily, I'm not guessing his WN8. So the even 90 is... And we talk about this in... And if I can remember, I'll link my multi-level engagement tutorial, and you will see you can understand it better. But the even 90 is currently playing the forward position of a multi-level engagement with these 2 positions. Premise of a multi-level engagement is that you can attack one position, but you have to consider attacking the next position, a different engagement, while that position can still impact the engagement you're currently making. Right? So you can't engage this even 90 linearly without running into the engagement of these guys as well, and you can't engage these guys as well without going through this one forward. So what that means, and the weakness of a multi-level engagement, generally is non-linear approaches, right? So if you can approach this even 90 from the side while in cover and kill him, or from this angle down here and kill him, right? The multi-level engagement back here can't contribute. Whereas if you go linearly, like other people have done, then you will die. But the point being is, if we kill that even 90 right now, it destroys the entire multi-level engagement, right? One tank, absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. That is how you win games. This entire thing is so much weaker now because they have lost their forward position. They have lost their vision, they have lost their forward hold, and now their position is compromised. And that is why when you are the only person occupying a forward position in line of your fire support, you should not trade health unless there is a profound reason to do so. The more health you have at the forward position, the longer the longer you can take advantage of the fast support behind you. As soon as you go down, fast support behind you is also damaged by your absence, which is exactly what has happened here. Even 90 looks like he's going forward. T69 does get spotted. Big old tank that. Even 90 going forward. We're not taking any lash and silly shots. I like it. Do we take these shots? It's a little risky with that T69 poking about. T69, 4 shells. It's got a 90mm gun, 240 damage in a clip. And that T69 just made a big mistake. And I like the fact that we were reversing behind this bush to get it to go opaque, to contain the camo. But then we stopped. Why did we stop? Because we realized that the T69 was about to put himself behind all of these bushes, and then we could shoot him. So we stopped just a little while before the bush in front of us went opaque to both make our shot better and give our gun that little bit more time to stabilize. 0.42 accuracy, right? Don't want to be being silly with it. But good awareness of how foliage works there. Really nice to see. Should be able to just poke here and spot this guy. No? We are using a city setup here, so our vision is a little lackluster compared to what would normally be blind. Very good. Very good. Okay. Beautiful. Waiting on the reload, and we do have an angle. And you can see how this flank has crumbled. When did it happen? As soon as the even 90 died. Right? As soon as the even 90 died. This became viable because the enemy lost the forward position of a multi-level engagement. That even 90 should have been stewarding his hit points. He knows that Bourrasque can hit the shot because it did it earlier. Oh, my man should have been cautious. But he wasn't. And now here we are. Not exposed to the ISU, which is nice. 1 and 2. Gorgeous. Okay, now we get into potential difficulty because now we're taking a Bourrasque into a potential town fight. And you can see this player doesn't want to do it. Even 90 on his team going into the town. No, this man wants long angles. And he wants to stay on this field if the enemy team's going to give him the chance to. Beautiful. But that booting right now, that booty going straight down here and killing the T103 feels really nice. Or getting shots behind these guys does feel really nice, and it looks like that's exactly what he's going to do. Oh, no. We're a little nervous. T103 killed the ELC. Now, is he going to turn around? T103 goes down. Okay. Now we don't want to go into that town. Oh, waiting for opportunistic shots though. 1.42 accuracy. Second one does connect as well. Very nice. It's in counter. But we're gonna find a way, or if we can, we're finding a way to utilize our vision. It's quite hard to utilize camera rating and view range on a map like Ruinbird, but here we are doing it. Right now, information provides to us notions of isolation. Right? We know vaguely where that contract went. We know where the Kalana is. Does that tell us that the ISU is yelling up alone over here? It might. But certainly spotting that Kalana there would indicate to us that maybe, okay, we can go on the K-line. But do we want to cover our ship pack? Ship pack is a valuable tank at this point. But he's stuck himself away in the corner there. It's going to be really hard for the enemy to push him successfully. And again, we're at a phase of the game where you're saying to the enemy team, okay, what are you going to give us? You're going to give us a bit of health? You're going to do something stupid? Right? Offer the enemy team that chance. And we got some advice from Emil. Move into outer city, go into the open field. Very stewarded advice. And there's one of the mistakes that we were looking for, but does get spotted. Just a bit poor bush work there. Ooh, and Contra does miss, but again, opening out distance. It's in counter. It's going to take another 3 minutes to cap. And again, the ship pack has come out of the town, which is nice. You're offering the enemy team the chance to make mistakes. Please, Mr. Talentless TD, please YOLO out of the town into the open field against a Bourrasque, against a ship pack. Please. I want you to do it. Do it. Do it. You know you want to. You're totally gonna win. You've got full health. And I tell you what, people will do it. People, why? 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 Against a shit pack of Bourrasque and an arty in a talentless tank destroyer. Like, what? What are you doing? And we know that isolation has been given because we know the Kalana's in the cap. And you know what's nice about this position? The Kalana is out of render distance. They are 2 versus 3 and they are out of render distance of their own engagements. On Leuenberg! The map's barely big enough to do that, and yet somehow these dickheads have managed it. Oh my lord. Why do you isolate? This isn't a turn-based RPG, for feck's sake. And now all we have to do is wait. If he approaches, he's gonna get pounded by the arty, he's gonna get proxied. We're just gonna wait for the ship pack. Oh my lord, dude. You can poke there, honestly, like. Easy. It's so bad. I want you to fuck this up somehow. Just so it's said, I want you to fuck this up. Just because it would be funny. Like, go for a fade-ins medal and just somehow lose. Wow, that arty is even moving. You see that right now? Arty's moving somewhere. Is he gonna give you a side shot? Yes, he is. It's 1. This gun is so busted, dude. 2-shot autoloaders in general are just bad for the game. Ship pack should pick up the kill. No, arty comes in clutch. Leaving our meal here with a Hadley Walters medal. 7,380 damage. That's a game in the Bourrasque. And I feel like this player is very good. I'm earning around 58, 59, 60%. Is my estimate. I'm tempted to go higher, but I don't think it goes lower. I think 59 is a fair estimate. I'm gonna go 59, and I'm gonna go 3.1k, like 20k. Actually, overall stat, I'll go 30k WN8, and I'll go 59% wins. Good knowledge of bush mechanics, good knowledge of the weakness of a multi-level engagement, really good target prioritization on the even 90. The most important kill in this game was the even 90. Because it enabled the entirety of the rest of the game. And it enabled the win, because it enabled you to have access to the land that allowed the enemy team to play as badly as they did. Oh, wow! Okay, wow, he's doing a lot better recently. Would I say 59? That should be a compliment to you. Very good. That's very good gameplay for those stats. I particularly like the end game play was solid, allowing the enemy to make mistakes. I don't think you went into the town once, apart from the engagement on T-34. Like, staying where you knew your tank was good, really nice, and then the priority kill on the ELC even 90. Really good stuff. A lot of potential there. Cool! Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure having you. We had paid replays again. If you do want to submit your replay, you can look in the description. You can find the donation link there if you want to guarantee that your replay is used. You can also submit for free. In the description, there will be links to the playlist and the next and previous episodes in this series. You can consider membership to YouTube if you want to catch all of these episodes when they upload. Thank you very much, everyone, and farewell.
Peabody, cheers from Germany, man. Thought I'd write a couple silly verses, my friend. He is a nice guy like Ned Flanders, but wielding a band hammer that make viewers feel him like a gang member, yeah. You better never ever shoot versus the man, cause that's a jerk of his hand, hence you're a permanent ban, yep. Like in a roleplay game, you wield a dagger but get smashed.